Hi everyone, welcome to Click and Learn. This is a simplified tutorial on website development, and our focus is going to be on the front end. Okay, so taking a website, we have the front end and the back end. The front end is what users basically see when they visit a website. How contents are being structured on a page is what we see and refer to it as the front end. And with the back end, they are the services that run behind the scene, mainly on servers. We do not see what really happens at the back end. So in this course, we'll be basing on front end, and we get to see how we design and structure content on a web page to develop a website. Just get prepared and hold on as we dive into website development, mainly the front end. Catch you later. Okay, so in this section, we're looking at introduction to website development. Okay, so before we begin the journey of this study, there are some questions we need to understand to enable us know exactly what we are about to do or learn. Okay, so meaning before we learn anything or before we begin design with our design, there are certain things we have to know as a website developer before you begin or we begin with the focus of what designing a web page or website. So questions I personally want learners to ask and know are: one, what is a website? Two, what is the importance of a website? And three, what makes a website? All right, so we ought to understand these three questions in order to set as a guide to us to understand what we are about to learn or what we are learning. Okay, so to proceed, let's answer the first question, which says, what is a website? Now, a website is basically a location on the internet that has details of an individual, organization, institution, and on we go. Okay, so looking at the word, we have web and then site. All right, site as in a location in English, and then web is a collection of information on the internet. All right, so meaning basically having a location on the internet which has information about something, being it an individual, an organization, or institution. That place that we call a location becomes what? A website. All right, so meaning it's a location to access what? Information. Website. I get it. So anytime you think of website, it basically means you accessing or getting to a place on the internet to obtain information. Okay, so being a website developer, sorry, it means you should be capable of what? Designing a web page and put content, which is information in quotes, onto the what? Onto the page and make it available for people or for other users or visitors on the internet. All right, so talking of website, a website is basically a location on the internet that has details, or in other words, has information of an individual, organization, institution, and on we go. All right. So this is the first thing we have to look at, which is the definition of a website or the definition to a website. So we getting to understand what a website is. That can be a guide to know what we are developing. All right. So what we are mainly or what we are basically developing is what? Learning how to put information, make information available on the internet at a particular location. All right. Okay. So since we've got that, let's move on to the next thing, which is the importance of a website. So, what is the importance of a website? Why is it needed to have a website? There could be so many reasons one might consider to have a website. Okay, but let's focus on these few reasons. One, to obtain global recognition. Okay, so the website mainly runs on what? On the internet. So once you have a website, you are going to have people from global regions or remote areas to get to know that there is an information or there is something called this and that on the website. Okay, let's assume you have a business and then you have a website for your business. Once you have a website, people from far and near get to know that there is a business running in this country and over there and here, which can be accessible on the internet. All right. And then two, to extend services to both local and remote audience. Meaning if you have a business, if you render services and you limit yourself to your locality, meaning those around are the people who patronize your business. But once you integrate website, okay, or you come up with a website, it means people who are from far places or from remote areas can still have or can you can extend the services you render to them through your website. Okay, so people can still have access to your business or your services with the help of what, of a website. Right. So in a nutshell, website helps to get your business known, and also it helps to extend services to what, to people in remote areas, and then your locality as well. All right. So if you should proceed to the next, then what makes a website? We can easily tell from what we have learned earlier that a website is made up of what, information. Okay, it's made up of information. But in this study, we'll go beyond that to know how the information gets to a website, or how to place an information onto a website. But there's something we ought to note. Down there it says, not before. Whenever you access a website, after it loads, what you see next is what, a web page. All right. So if you access a site and what you see next is a web page, that means what we actually design is a web page. All right. And once we make the web page accessible on the internet, it becomes what? A website. So it is the web page that has the information, and then we make the pages available onto the what? Or we make them available on the internet. Once they're available there, we now have what? A website, a location where when we get to, we can have information there. All right. So a web page is basically, or a web page basically displays the content of a website. I hope you are getting this clear. So since we have this understanding, well, this is just a basic introduction. So we'll be going further to understand what we are really doing, or to be looking deeper into what we are learning, and then we'll be developing a web page from scratch, step by step, for us to have what, a very good and firm understanding of web development, mainly the front end. All right. So see you in the other episodes of this study. Be safe.